Hi, I'm Nicole. Welcome to my first video with my face in it. I have less than 10 days until winter break is over and I have to go back to school. I used to waste my breaks doing nothing, but I binged a copious amount of motivational videos in the past month, so this time will be different. I'm gonna lock in. This time, I'll be productive. It's 12:37 p.m. I was supposed to be up at 6 a.m. and ready by 8, and instead I woke up at 10 a.m. Whoops, I was wrong. My bad. Anyways, after I ate and made my bed, showered, I unstinkified myself, I got dressed, folded a whopping 2 pairs of socks, hard work I know, and I took 24 minutes to do my makeup just to sit in front of a low quality camera. But it's fine. It's not like I need to meet my Pookie at 1 p.m. or anything. It's totally fine. This is fine. To cope, I just got started on my work. Ever since Christmas, I've started trying to read the Bible from front cover to back cover, and all the pages in between, of course. Today I'm reading chapter 36 of the book of Genesis. After recording myself reading until I felt so awkward and unfocused that I had to turn off the camera, I made it beyond the intended 2 chapters, and I actually got all the way to chapter 42. I actually found it really intriguing to get refamiliarized with the story of Joseph, who lived through attempted murder, enslavement, and imprisonment. Mind you, from people who he was actually supposed to trust. Yet, he still made it through with God's guidance. Actually, he even prospered, which means maybe even in the direst of situations, we could still have just a bit of hope. With a bigger brain, a bigger heart, and also actually a bigger amount of time to get ready, turns out Pookie was sleeping still, I decided to go and find clothes that I could go donate. I keep getting lots of clothes as gifts, and I thought it'd be nice to A, clear up my closet, and B, maybe give back, since it's not like I actually wear anything besides hoodies and sweatpants anyway. With like an entire 2 tasks done by 2 p.m., it was time to see my Pookie. So I suited up and I drove over to go and acquire my boyfriend so that we could go and do some side quests that we had. The first side quest was to go get some boba for my parents. Boba.
Boba.
Boba. Boba.
Boba.
Boba.
Boba.
In hindsight, I honestly kind of should have gotten some for myself, but it's okay, because our next side quest was to get some popcorn.
Oops. 7 versus $5.
I was extra hungry, so wait, hold on. Okay, there we go. Anyways, I was extra hungry, so I ate and watched TV. Then I hopped into this Zoom info session for this summer internship with a company that I'm actually really interested in. And I actually had fun listening and got super excited about it. On a totally unrelated note, I am very available to be employed. So if you have a job, I would very much so appreciate it. Hit me up. After that, I want to do something that's like actually related to my major and practice using Figma, but Wi-Fi, so that's fine. InDesign is really cool too. And maybe it was a blessing because I could actually finally get to revising my design final. The final in question was actually like a month ago. It's just my professor and another designer that they brought on gave me really great feedback to take this from a final project to something portfolio ready. So I got to do a lot of things like recolor, add texture, and just in general, check to see if this was an actual good piece to show people. My boyfriend also got to some design work of his own, and so it got to be a pretty fun study buddy design session. You know, graphic design is our passion. And it just made making progress and finishing up this piece a lot more fun. This is my digital applications final. It's a little interactive PDF book that I called Yummy Yummy in My Tummy, Fruits Edition, because fruits are pretty yummy when they're in my tummy. So there's a dedications page, and it's like a menu, and a chapter index at the same time. And we go through different fruits. They're not in any particular order, but mango is my favorite. And there's so many different ways to interact with the pages. We got little record players and other music players. These fruits be dancing. There's the different fruits of the spirit. I wanted to have an educational aspect to this and a little verse that helps to explain it a bit better. And also there's these different dishes, and when you click them, you get to go and see the actual recipes themselves. And at the end is me, after I finish my food. This barely got an A, but at least I had fun. And it's not done yet, but when it is, please feel free to check it out. I'll let you guys know where you can find it. By the way, at no point did Figma actually fully load in, but it's fine. That's kind of what I get with the Wi-Fi I had. Soon, I will one day no longer be a performative UX designer, but at least I got some graphic design work done. Our progress warranted a dinner, some TV, as well as just some of our us shenanigans, if that's how I could best describe it, before we do anything else. And before we left my house, we prayed. We recently learned the Serenity Prayer. The short version of it is, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And I've only known it for 2 weeks, but it honestly has made a really deep impression on me, and it's something that I like to try to remember and recall in my daily life now. And I got to really enjoy praying it with my boyfriend. I think a prayer that beautiful definitely deserves to be shared so that more people could connect with God with words like that. After that, it was time for us to get actually even more food. We were really thinking about In-N-Out for a while, most especially the Neapolitan shake. By the time that we got to the drive-thru, I was actually thinking about having food in general. I was so hungry that I actually started kind of losing it a bit in that drive-thru line. That line was all the way to the intersection. That's not in and out, man. That's in and wait and park your car in the drive-thru line because you're not even going anywhere. It was worth it at the end though. I devoured my burger with it before I even got home. That's just, it was an experience. A good one though. I still got to drive around with my boyfriend, so that was still fun. I love living in California. When I got home, I just did a bit of chores and called it for a day. I didn't get to invest in stocks like I wanted. That was on the list, but that's honestly totally chill. So I didn't do everything that I wanted today, but that's fine. I got to have fun. I got to eat movie theater popcorn. I got to eat In-N-Out. I got a Neapolitan shake from In-N-Out. There were more highlights to my day besides what I ate, by the way. As much as I love binging motivational content, especially those videos that kind of make me feel like an alpha giga chad, sorry, by the way, but they do. I have to acknowledge that I can't fully live that sort of mindset, I think. I just tend to pile on a lot of work onto myself, and I know that not every day is going to go my way. So if I could just go a few steps forward, then honestly that is a great day. I appreciate all you who are watching for being there to see this, which is in and of itself a huge step forward for me. Thanks for joining me today. See you next time.